Whales navigate and communicate across thousands of miles of deep, dark ocean. To do this, they rely on low-frequency sound pressure, sending acoustic signals that can travel vast distances underwater. But the modern ocean is no longer a quiet biological domain. It is a chaotic mix of natural elements and human machinery, with massive cargo ship propellers churning and grinding over the natural acoustic landscape. Researchers from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography have placed microphones at 6 distinct sites in the Southern California Bight. Over the years, they've captured more than 60 cumulative years of continuous underwater audio. To the untrained ear, thousands of hours of audio sound like a dense wall of static. Millions of sound sources overlap, making it nearly impossible to identify distinct patterns just by listening. Researchers approached this dataset like a music producer mixing a track. By filtering the audio and isolating specific frequency bands, they pulled apart the chaotic noise into individual, clean signals. The ocean acts as a continuous, multi-track recording. Hidden inside these separate audio channels is a precise diagnostic record of our planet's health and human economics. Let's isolate the 63 Hz frequency band. At this specific low pitch, the audio is almost entirely dominated by the hum of commercial cargo ships and tanker propellers. Because propeller noise correlates directly with how many ships are on the water, the volume of this frequency acts as an economic seismograph, tracking the exact scale of global maritime trade. Looking at this chart plotting 63 Hz acoustic amplitude over time, you can see a steep drop. The acoustic energy in this band plummeted exactly during the 2008 global financial crisis, as international shipping stalled. As the timeline advances, the graph maps rapid spikes and dips in the sound levels. These jagged lines mirror economic events, like port labor shortages, major regulatory shifts, and holiday consumer spending. Without ever looking at a financial spreadsheet, this low-frequency hum provides an exact, unintentional ledger of human commerce. Shifting the equalizer up to the 18 to 48 Hz band brings us into the biological realm. This specific range is the primary communication channel used by blue and fin whales. This data visualization shows biological sound pressure levels across different monitoring sites. Between 2014 and 2016, a severe marine heat wave hit the Pacific, and the acoustic data captures a massive disruption in the red and blue lines tracking whale calls. The acoustic activity levels completely changed. Whale noise nearly disappeared in the southern, warmer monitoring sites, and suddenly spiked in the cooler, near-shore northern sites. The audio proves extreme habitat compression, as these massive marine animals crowded into rapidly shrinking pockets of cold water. This biological displacement was intensified by a shift in the Pacific decadal oscillation, a long-term ocean temperature cycle. As it swung into a warm phase, the heat forced these species to migrate to survive. Data from this same frequency band reveals a global shift. Since the 1960s, blue whales everywhere have been steadily dropping the fundamental pitch of their songs, lowering their voices year after year. From massive population displacement to these subtle vocal shifts, the biological frequency band serves as a real-time sensor for ecological stress, recording the precise moments a changing climate pushes a species to its limit. Stepping away from biology and economics, we shift our focus one final time to the 800 Hz band to examine the physical environment. At 800 Hz, the microphones isolate the broadband hiss of wind tearing across the surface of the ocean. By tracking the volume of this acoustic hiss, researchers can accurately monitor seasonal wind speeds and daily coastal heating and cooling cycles. They measure the weather with pinpoint accuracy, entirely without traditional meteorological stations. The ocean's acoustic layers form a complete, passive historical record of the physical planet, captured entirely through sound. Plotting the 63 Hz shipping frequency and the 18 to 48 Hz whale frequency on the same axis reveals a fatal flaw. The lower human band actively overlaps and masks the biological band, operating at a volume and pitch that completely drowns out the whales. This acoustic masking prevents marine life from communicating, mating, and foraging for food. They are effectively blinded in an environment where habitats are already being compressed by warming waters. This soundscape acts as a real-time diagnostic tool, pinpointing the exact locations where human activity pushes an ecosystem toward collapse. Reversing planetary warming takes decades of sustained global effort, but acoustic pollution can be solved the moment a ship cuts its engine power. Organizations have introduced vessel speed reduction programs as a direct operational intervention. The mathematics are simple. Shipping companies are asked to manually slow their cargo ships to 10 knots when passing through specific high-risk zones. This single speed reduction drops the underwater sound pressure generated by the propellers by 45%, instantly unmasking the biological communication channels below. That translates to a 5.2 decibel drop in volume, giving endangered marine mammals the quiet space they need to navigate and survive. By treating the ocean's noise as a multi-track recording, scientists quantified our destructive impact. And in doing so, they found the exact volume knob to turn it down.